look really closely at your screen, a triplet of 3 LEDs will greet you, one red, one green, and one blue. This is the RGB triplet for 1 pixel. The photosites on camera sensors work off of the same principle of capturing RGB information, but whereas screens are an RGB triplet, sensors use the Bayer filter array, where a square of 4 photosites represents 1 pixel, RGGB, meaning that your images look more like this. After the initial capture, a process called demosaicing occurs, which interpolates the data from the neighboring pixels in the Bayer image to produce the RGB triplet used for the pixel's final display image. This is the same process for the iPhone 15, the $85,000 Ari Alexa, and the Snapchat glasses. Since most consumer displays only support 8 bits per channel, meaning 256 values in each color channel for the RGB display triplet, why not record in 8-bit? Well, in a world of color grading and post-processing, why not record 16-bit linear RAW with no encoding curve and full control over the image sensor dataset? That's 65,536 possible values for each color channel, and it's what Steve Yedlin wants. But that's a lot of data, and to manage file size and processing efficiency, cameras usually encode this raw linear data logarithmically, which also happens to be the way the human eye interprets light. Log profiles such as SLog3 and Log3 compress the camera's wide dynamic range into a smaller bit depth of around 10 bits per channel or 1024 values. To complicate things further, each camera brand further tailors its image with unique quote-unquote color science, with the development of unique gammas, gamuts, sensors, color matrices, digital to analog converters, processors, denoising algorithms, demosaicing algorithms, and etc. This is not to mention that most broadcast teams have to color calibrate their cameras between shoots due to sensor environment temperature. Basically, at the end of the day, the final image rendered by any camera varies significantly, even between units of the same model. So how do TV shows and movies color correct all the cameras so that they match each other? Well, in post-production, the process of color correction begins by using a color space transformation to convert each camera's log profile or their raw linear dataset into an intermediate color space, such as ACES or Da Vinci Wide Gamut, otherwise known as DOG. This approach eliminates the variability and subjectivity of by-eye correction in and out of different camera, monitor, and whatever color spaces. Device-independent intermediate color spaces such as ACES help ensure that projects edited today will still look good on future displays and systems that may even support more extensive color and dynamic range. Once your footage is transformed onto that standardized working color space, that's when you can apply 3D correction LUTs or use the built-in DaVinci chart matching feature. The whole pipeline is turn your footage into the working space, add the 3D correction LUT, do your exposure, white balance and tint, contrast, create your look adjustment, and then transform into the display space, usually Rec 709, sRGB, or DCI-P3. So, Dehancer provides a range of camera profiles which neutralize camera manufacturer-specific color science, similar to Filmatic AI and Film Convert, but they don't have an output display transform for an intermediate space when using the camera profile system, and this is a big issue. The reason being they created 3D correction LUTs or transformations for a laundry list of cameras, both professional and consumer, and they have all of that work, but because of the output transformation options when using the camera profile mode, being limited to Rec 709, Cineon FilmLug 2383, Glossy Endura Paper, and 3513, you can't use this plugin to correct cameras while working in an intermediate space. And you might say, well, why not just use the modes built in that support DaVinci Wide Gamut and ACES? Well, it doesn't allow us to use the camera correction profiles. So, Dehancer, please fix.